Hello, everybody, and welcome to ArcheAge, the Aurorian Age. I'm Liette. With me tonight to be very amused Deuce.
I hate you, Memo.
Memo, who is hated by Deuce.
Welcome, folks.
And Bear, who everybody likes.
Hey, everybody.
Everybody loves Bear.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to be talking about things upcoming in Alpha and in Beta, because, hey, Beta's tomorrow.
Yay, Beta!
Yeah.
Beta is tomorrow.
Can't believe it. And some things they've changed for us already. So starting us off, I know Deuce has a whole lot to say about the store.
Yes.
So tell us about it, Deuce. What did they do? What can we shop for? How's the mall?
Okay. Well, yeah, it's pretty much a mall. I'll leave the gender changing in the salon to you, Liette. But I'll tell you,
That just sounded so terribly wrong.
I have not
changing.
Okay, since you brought that up, I will explain my salon experience to you, since I've already done that, because, you know, hair is very important and my character had to have a proper coif. So, to be able to... Oh, stop. To be able to change your appearance, you have to go and buy a little salon ticket thingy. And you buy it. And then you click to go to the salon, and you can change your hair. You can pretty much remake your whole tune. You can't do a gender swap. You need a different ticket for that. So that gets a little more in-depth for obvious reasons. And so, yeah, I got to get in there, change out my character's hair. You can redo facial structure. It's like straight up plastic surgery. It was pretty fancy. And if you're somebody like Memo, who really wants to make their character more and more terrifying and creepy looking, you have full accessibility to make your character look like the clown from It. So, yeah.
And you actually do have more options available once you go into the salon. So there's actually more hair you can choose from, and more scary things that Memo.
Out. You need to check that out.
Yeah, gonna be worth it for you, bud.
You can have like a totally 80s hairband hairdo on one of the cat people. It's crazy. So maybe that's what you should do, Memo. Yeah.
I got like that clown hair afro looked pretty good for my character.
That was the creepiest thing I have ever seen.
I can't do bald on the cat people, so I went with afro as opposed to bald, because I usually make all my tunes, bald.
Okay.
Yeah.
to answer the question, is it pay to win? Well, here's what I see within the thing, okay? We can finally, expand our inventory. Finally. It's 300 gems per slot. It doesn't increase, so it's 300 for every 10. And you can go up to 130 slots in your bag, 130 slots in your bank. So you can have massive amounts of space if you want to. There is a workman's compensation potion, which is really funny, the name that they call it workman's comp. But that's how you get back labor for gems. Costs 300 gems for 1,000 labor. You're like, oh my, that's crazy, right? It's on a 12-hour cooldown. So unlike the Korea and the Russian versions, they're on 4-hour cooldowns, we are on a 12-hour cooldown. So they did increase the cooldown time on it.
Anybody that does any of the hardcore crafting or anything else knows 1,000 points is pretty much nothing. So,
well, now here's the thing that most people are complaining about right now is it's not character bound. I mean, it's not account bound. So the timer is actually character, based off your character. So if you've got 4 characters, every 12 hours, that's 4,000 labor. So is it a pay to win? If you really want to chunk up some change, that's a lot of labor you can blow.
Was that tested?
Yes, tested and confirmed. Now, it hasn't been we haven't heard from Tryon if that's working as intended, but right now, that's the way it is. Each character has their own labor pool cooldown potion thingy.
There's 3 different gliders that are kind of pricey. They're 2240 gems each, and they pretty much have the same exact stats as our ultimate glider we get within the game right now, that you build for like 2 gold. But one, you can get it level 1, and 2, it's got a cool somersault, which looks like a barrel roll. So
Nice.
Gee, what's Deuce excited for?
I'm excited for having a level 1 glider. That's what I'm excited for.
It doesn't take much to get Deuce excited, though. Glider!
I believe I can fly.
There's some costumes, kind of
Victorian. I
Victorian.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the best way to say it. Yeah, Victorian. There's a set of pet gear, which is pretty much the same as the level 30 instanced gear, except for you can wear it at level 20 now.
That's nice, because that gives you the option to do it if you don't do the instance.
There's some boost potions, which give you more honor, more experience, and stuff for an hour.
Now, to go along with the pet armor, they have the cookies that you can buy your pets out of the loyalty store. So you buy the cookies with your loyalty points. You eat one. If you've got a fresh pet, level 5 pet, you eat one cookie, boom, they're level 15. It gives you 50,000 experience for a pet. So 2 of them, and your pet's going to be, ready to wear their new armor.
Well, that would be interesting. I always forget to bring the pets out and forget to level them, besides the mount, which levels on, as you're using it.
Well, it works on the donkey, too.
Does it?
Yep.
I usually remember to bring my pet out, and it usually stands up and goes, "Arr." And I'm like, "Aw." I do that couple, 3 or 4 more times, because that animation is awesome.
Yes,
I can never see that enough times.
Especially when he do it on the side of a hill, and he just goes down
in the water. When you do it in the water, he rolls upside down. His legs are sticking straight up, and he floats. Doesn't get any better than that if you spawn him in the water.
I gotta go get. Well, no, I hate intentionally killing my poor donkey. It's Fluffy. It's mean. I named my donkey Fluffy. So, but yeah, next time Fluffy happens to die, I'm totally trying that.
It's pretty neat. It kind of floats along with the waves and whatnot.
For those of you who are asking what the Daru stashes are that you're going to get with your alpha accounts, because I believe we get 10 as being alpha patrons. What they are, they're actually in the store for 15 loyalty points each, and you just get random things. One of them, I got a companion crest, which is the 50,000 pet experience. I got Arthrodon got a workman's comp potion. Somebody got like 15 Gilda stars for 2 of them, so like 7 and 8 I think they got out of the 2 of them. I got a potion that gives 10% extra drop rate of loot for an hour.
That's cool.
So
yeah, overall, I'm liking the store, not liking the store. I mean, anything that brought us more the ability to expand that teeny tiny bag space, has to be good. Because who did not have an inventory that was completely full and then some?
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason how I know there's only 130 spots, because
you bought them all.
Yes, I did.
Be what I do in live. That will be my top priority, scale that inventory, because I hate having to scrunch everything in there. And then I know with like the farm crafter like yourself, and you're constantly using the mail system to send stuff to yourself just because you don't have the room for it. Did you find out what the space was on the warehouse? Is it the same?
Do what? I'm sorry.
The space for the warehouse, is it the same as the bag space?
I did not blow it up to 130 because I need to save money for beta, because I'm getting a glider first thing tomorrow.
Nice.
There is something for those of you people who don't like to do the daily quests. There's an infamy remedy, and it automatically decreases your crime and infamy points by 100 for 15 loyalty tokens. So if you log in 3 days, you can just automatically just get rid of 100 infamy points.
We had Zombie in chat answer the question on the warehouse, and it is he says it's 100 spaces, as big as you can expand it.
Cool.
So that's good to know.
Smaller.
Yeah, but now you can at least buy the spacious chest off of.
That's a big one.
Yes.
Tell us about that, Bear. That's awesome. Because those were going to be very matte prohibitive to get right in the beginning from what we had been using before this latest update, but you can get them in the store now, right?
Yep, get them in the store. We've already got plans to get 8 of them to drop over by the farm to keep everything organized. So a couple of us don't lose more hair than we already have, and keeping stuff where it's supposed to be. Everything in its place.
Yes,
You know,
please.
we got you, Miss Liette. Don't worry about it.
And I'll tell you, a 20 slot chest for all the seeds we use is not big enough.
Lord, no. No, not at all.
I did play with the glider, where the what do you call it when you reforge? It's not reforge. You relook it.
Regrade
Hey,
it? Is that what it's called?
I don't know. My glider now looks like the Red Dragon glider.
Fancy.
But just so you know, so you don't run into the thing I do, don't spend your last bit of gems on your design, because you still need 15 of the conversion powders to do the regrade. So it's an added cost in there they don't tell you about. Took me about 15 minutes.
There was
So
a
it's kinda
question. There was
Go
a
ahead,
question: are the marketplace credits being refreshed when the game goes live? Yes, they are. You're going to get your credits like you should when the game goes live. Now, for alpha and beta, it's being split. So any points that you spend or the money that you spend on alpha is, in the same pool as your beta. Now, the question was posed to Scapes if your loyalty tokens would be shared across. And he could not give us an answer to that. He was going to ask the team and get back with them.
What are our plans for tomorrow? We're going to play beta.
Busy.
Check it out.
We will not be discussing those in detail.
No, not in massive detail, but yeah, we're going to be playing beta. Of course, we've got to keep testing. It's fun. It's the point.
Are we not? We're supposed to also get a list of beta servers before launch, correct? Has that happened yet, or no?
I can see it.
It has.
It's been posted.
Yeah, we've got one American and one European.
Okay then.
So that pretty much tells everybody what server we'll be on.
All right. You all right, Deuce?
Not the European
No.
one, I hope.
Can you say overcrowded?
Yeah, the whole thing's going to be overcrowded. And I haven't seen that post either.
I have not either.
Pretty cool.
I will tell you this. Hey, for all the people who are coming to join us in beta tomorrow for the first time, get ready for the madness. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Join the madness for about 3 hours, and then you can kick back and enjoy the game. But we need your madness for about 3 hours.
And
get up with Arlia had the post on the servers, and I guess one of the reasons that they're not bringing up multiple beta servers right now is they're really wanting everybody to kind of play on one so they can get a feel for it, and also that's going to determine whether they bring the alpha and omega servers down for the next event. So because there's a lot of people that aren't going over to beta, a lot of people are going to stay in alpha and omega.
It would be fine with me if they did, because I'm gonna, we're gonna have a lot of new guildies coming in and playing beta, and I want to be able to play with all those people we have coming in as well.
Definitely.
So I probably will not make much of an appearance on alpha till the beta's over.
No, and it'll be great to see those folks in Grievance that have just gotten the beta packs, and I know they're anxious to get in and actually play the game. So it'll be a fun experience for those of you who are just hopping into the game tomorrow or tomorrow evening, whatever. I don't know how everybody's schedule is. Mine will be at work, till I can make it in, but it'll be busy and it'll be laggy because there are going to be a lot of you.
It'll be much like when Omega launched. Memo will be there, Bear will be on, and Deuce will be on. So we will be, the leadership will be well represented at launch tomorrow.
Oh, we do ask, though, in TeamSpeak, just remember there's probably going to be 50 other people in the channel, so let everybody talk individually. If we need to, we'll split up into our groups as we start leveling and stuff like that to keep chatter down. But just remember, be courteous in TeamSpeak because it's going to be a madhouse tomorrow.
It's going to be a blast.
Oh, it's going to be great. I love lots of people.
those new people coming in from Grievance, TeamSpeak's the place to be, because if you have a question, and believe me, if it's your first experience with the game, you will have lots of questions.
If it's your first experience since 1.2 came out, you'll have lots of questions.
Oh yeah, I mean, we found out today that they've changed quests up. The NPC quest starter locations have changed. They've changed where some of the specialty workbenches are. I mean, they're changing up stuff almost as fast as we can figure it out. So, and don't forget, everybody, if you haven't played since 1.0, so if tomorrow's going to be your first chance to play for a while, and let's say you're going to play on the Nuyen side, do not jump in and start dropping strawberries right away, because all those quests have changed. Now, I don't know who would have done something like that and blown all their money on strawberries, but, don't do that.
Oh.
Both me and Bear did that, yes.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
we did. Yes.
Oh, poor guys. Oh.
Well, actually, I only blew a portion of mine because Bear stopped me because he'd already done it after I planted like half my money.
Yeah, I think I dropped about a whole gold piece on strawberry seeds, and somebody stopped me, so I had to spread the love.
Yep.
Well, at least it was only 1 gold. It could have been a lot worse.
At that point of the game, 1 gold is a lot of money.
I know. But it could have been worse. And speaking of which, by the way, as far as money goes, with the Omega launch, they used the cluster feature for the auction house, where it's the shared auction house between servers.
Right.
Have they confirmed that won't be the case in beta, that beta will have its own cluster?
Beta will have its own cluster.
Okay.
We were told that. Now, of course, you know how things go. It could change at the last minute because, oh my God, we need to test it again or whatever. But as of right now, beta will have its own cluster.
I would assume the European and America servers will be tied as far as auction house. So that would be a much better test than, Alpha and Omega tied together, because you have an economy that's been going for 6 months or longer with the friends and family, and you've just joined it with a brand new economy that has nothing. So that was not a test of building an economy. So hopefully they're not going to do something like that, because I know that was unfortunate in Omega that they linked Omega with Alpha.
Well, they actually come out and talked about it, and they said they really wanted to see what would happen if they brought a new server onto a cluster with an established economy. And they needed to test that out now instead of testing it out later to see what would happen. And of course,
pretty predictable what was going to happen. I mean, I'm not sure what the test was there.
I'm not sure either, but we found out real quick what happened. I mean, everything moves over for like 11 copper pieces.
Yeah.
So
moves over really easy too.
Yeah. And I know I did sell a couple of figs. I sold a couple of figs for like 250 gold, on Omega server. Oh yeah.
It's been nice figs, man.
Wait a second. Didn't you sell like 3 rock for like 1,500 gold?
Yes, I did that too. So
nice.
But no, that's how folks are moving money over from the Alpha server to the Omega server.
Started noticing that first day, later on the day, that people had big ships and other stuff that there's no way they could have got there. So, and then it went pretty well.
You mean like worms on the auction house on day 1?
Yeah, it went pretty well viral after that.
I was very surprised. I wasn't actually online when certain smart people found that out. But I did get this message from Memo. He goes, oh, great, the auction houses are tied. What? So that really threw me for a loop. And then I started Googling. Oh, yeah, they were actually planning to do that. Duh. So,
which is a good idea at launch when all the servers have just started, but establishing linking an old and a new server's economy together is not going to be good for the new server. Fantastic for the old server, because they can jack the price up on all the beginning stuff back to day 1 prices and make a killing.
Yes, and it doesn't necessarily hurt the new server. It just gives them such a jump start. So I'm sure Trion's thinking of that long term. Well, they'll really jump it unless they do 3 new servers at once or however many they plan to do in a cluster, when they add servers. So maybe that's the line of thinking if they have to add them.
Well, I understand the combining of servers, economies like that after launch, because you'll have a bunch of servers, and eventually they'll kill down the dead servers and merge servers at some point, which that will be fine. Those will still be 2 established economies, coming together.
Well, and that brings us to the head start. The head start, originally they said that they weren't going to bring up all the servers for the head start. They were only going to bring up some of the servers. So imagine what their initial plan was to take those servers and add more servers to a cluster off of a head start server. But now we're starting to see them say where they're just going to bring all of them up to begin with. So
yeah, because if they don't, they say they're going to cap them, and if they cap them, large guilds like us and some of the other guilds, you'll get it on a server and they'll get capped, and then where does the rest of the guild go? So that is definitely the way to go instead of just adding clusters off that. Open them all.
I agree. And I'm looking forward to see what happens to the economy tomorrow. A lot of people haven't really sunk in yet on how long it's going to take to even make, a belt, a level 20 belt, or, heaven forbid you need a level, 30 piece of armor, because you're going to have to get some stuff from across the ocean. It's going to slow everybody down. A workstation. Look what it's going to take to get a farmer's workstation.
Well, even before the workstation, look what it would take to even get to 15,000 for me to be able to use a workstation 1, and alchemy's got to get to 10,000 before we can even make the workstation.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have to make the viscous glossy oil.
Yep.
Granted, there aren't more changes like in 1.2 that throw us for a loop again. So.
Oh, there was a big change that came out, announcement that came out with the patch today when they brought up the market, and that was about Diamond Shore in the library. Diamond Shore in the library were actually in Korea's version of 1.2, but Korea's version of 1.2 boosted the level cap to 55. So it's the new area from 50 to 55. It came in with our version. It will not be there in live, so do not get used to it if you're playing in it right now, or getting excited because you're almost to 50 and you're going to be able to play in it. It will not be there. It wasn't intended to be there for us, but they're leaving it in for alpha only. It's not in for beta because some of the people have already been working on the costumes and they don't want to rip it away from the people that are already playing with it. So it will stay in alpha, but it will not be available in beta or in live until we get to the 55 patch.
To touch on what Soulgrave just said, he hopes they make fishing more relevant. They have already increased the money that the large fish are selling for. When we first saw 1.2, those fish were only selling for like 50 gold or less. And now we're starting to see them come up, creep back up to the hundreds now. So I'm glad to see them increase that back a little bit, because really they had just, kicked fishing in the no happy place.
They had gutted
angry typer.
Sorry about the typing. And to answer Kinsuna, we'll be under Grievance Guild, so you'll find us there. We're still solidifying the actual action plans. That's why we're not really talking about it right now. But we'll be in beta. We'll probably see you there. Hope so. It'll be fun. And really looking forward to it. And Memo's terrifying character.
Yeah.
I went in and set it up and saved the appearance, so I can just click right on through it. So it's all good.
Sweet. All right.
Yeah. Now that's not going to work, right? Because the alpha client is actually separate from the beta client.
That's right. It won't work, will it?
No.
Nope.
I could copy it over though. I know what file it saves in.
There you go.
Ooh.
Now you're thinking.
They had that thing today to where it basically want to download the alpha and beta separately, but the developer made a post where you can actually go and just update the alpha, copy it over into the beta folder, and you don't have to do the double download. So that was nice.
That is nice. That Omega patch was a little tough. But, or at least the downtime I found tough. We're sitting there just, where is it? that was pins and needles.
Well, yesterday it came down for 5 hours, and they said, "This is the marketplace patch." We're like, "Ooh, marketplace!" And they brought it up. The button was there, down for maintenance. We're like, "Really?" A couple hours later, boom, it goes down again. We're like, "Ooh, they're gonna fix the marketplace." Comes up, no. So today, we're going down for maintenance. Ooh, the marketplace, and it actually came. So we're happy, happy, happy.
Yep. And
It's
it is
fucking
really
fun.
neat to check out. It was bugged for a while there, though, wasn't it? People showing a zero balance, and they couldn't buy anything.
I don't.
Well-
I never saw that bug. So
Well, what happened was a lot of people got varying amounts of their gems. Some people got them out they were supposed to. Some people were getting upwards to 18,000 gems, and some people were getting
Wow.
as low as 7,000 gems. So basically, they took everybody's money away and tried again. So, but if you spent money, you didn't get more money because evidently they were really good at keeping track of how much money you spent, but they
I
just
was gonna
couldn't keep
say,
track of how much you're supposed to
I
get.
still have the same amount. So
Yeah, you didn't get any back. They just, but there for I think it was about 3 or 4 hours there, they took everybody's money away. And what was funny is if you hadn't logged your character out, your money was there. But like if you, logged out or changed characters or anything like that, your money was gone. So we had people in guild that was going, "Oh, money's gone. My money's still there." And then inevitably, 5 minutes later, "Hey, my money's gone." So yeah, that happened to me. I was one of those people that like, "No, I still got my money," and no, I switched characters and my money was gone after that. But it's all back now, so that's good.
Oops. Yeah, when I first logged in, it had a 0, and I was going, I'm pretty sure they want me to try to spend some things. But okay, guys, that's cool. And about 15 minutes in, we get this nice little green message, and I'm going, oh, I can change my hair. Okay. So, hey, priorities.
Definitely priorities.
Yep. So is everybody going for those expansion scrolls pretty much first thing tomorrow?
Absolutely.
yeah.
As soon as I get to a nice clear spot to stop for a second, I'm gonna do those all the way out because you can never have enough bag space.
I agree.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Somebody just mentioned in guild that the vocation XP potion is nice. Yeah, that's a little kind of OP if you're like me, who plants a whole bunch of stuff for the guild, and for 1 hour you get double the XP for labor used.
Wow, that's nice.
So
Yeah, for any vocation. So I mean, picking up all of his seed packs, you could level up quite quickly.
yeah, and like say Liette, who's been doing lumbering, she gets 1,000 lumber to process. She pops one of those potions and she gets double XP for the next hour. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it's a good little boost for leveling.
Yeah, I would not complain. That's the first thing I do when I log in every day. Just go process whatever y'all have sent me. Yeah, but I guess your ETA for level 50 is what? A whole week, Deuce? Maybe.
I was kind of slow this time because of the setbacks of the new changes and stuff. Beta, I don't know if I'll hit it the first beta event, but I will be 52nd beta event just do farming and stuff.
Cool. All right. Do we know if they're going to wipe between beta or just keep it continuous?
They didn't say. I don't see the point of wiping between beta events, honestly, because they want you to get into the action against the other people.
Yeah. We're only going to have 5 and 3 day events, and this one's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's 5-day event.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's 5.
I mean,
Well,
there's
what they said is, barring any unfortunate events, that when the beta gets ready to go down at the end of the event, they're actually going to freeze the servers, so you don't have to worry about plants that were planted or any crops or anything like that that's on the timer. Everything's going to be frozen until the server comes back up for the next event. So we should be good with no wipes between betas. The next wipe we should see would be when we go to the early access.
Yeah, but it's kind of a bummer that our labor won't regen and stuff if they freeze the servers between beta and live. Yeah, that wipe, they should always wipe.
Tryon had talked about our rewards for alpha and beta that we were supposed to get, and we were supposed to get them near the end of alpha before beta came out. They haven't shown up yet, so maybe they'll show up tomorrow, maybe not.
I'd be shocked.
It would be nice to save a little cash so that I can play with something else, because we do get a glider if it does come out.
All right, now have all y'all seen the new cloak, the patron cloak?
I have not seen the
All
patron
right,
cloak.
so in the picture, it was this long flowing cloak, that went down to around your mid calf ankle area. Well, the new one is half. It's a half cloak, but it's been cut at a 45-degree angle, and it shows off your right butt cheek. That's how high it goes.
Wow. All right.
So it's going to be interesting to actually see if our emblem will fit on there correctly, or if it's going to get cut off or shrunk or what. But it is a half cloak, and it looks, well.
It looks like a back bib. I like that.
I don't understand why you do that when they want us to show off our colors.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really care for it that much. A lot of people are complaining about it. The post that made me laugh the most was like, I paid for, $150 for my patron account, and here you are changing stuff. I'm like, oh crap. It was, it was a placeholder, guys. I mean, don't get too bent out of shape. Say you don't like it, but you're still going to get what they're going to give you anyway. So
yeah, it is what it is pretty much at that point.
Well, I just hope your characters have nice butts. That's all I got.
Hey, I modeled mine after my own.
Soulgrave, his character has a nice butt, so it should be fine on his character.
We had a question about actual launch after beta. Tryon, as far as I'm aware, has said that they're going to have multiple beta events, and launch, from what I've heard, is still scheduled for this year, and I think it's supposed to be end of third quarter, beginning of fourth. Anybody heard something different?
No, but I would imagine we have at least 3 beta events with a weekend in between, so we're looking at least 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect it
about
sooner
right.
than 6 weeks.
That's what I heard as well. Approximately 6 beta events. They're looking to do closed beta events, and they are actually going to do some open beta events. So if you don't get in the closed beta, and you haven't bought into the closed beta, they're still going to do an open beta event, at least one. We don't know how many. So
yeah.
Somebody from our guild did get an invite though, didn't pay for it, and got a beta event this weekend.
That's pretty cool.
He actually got an alpha, is what his email said. Of course, he hadn't been able to download alpha, but it on his account is like, welcome to alpha. So he was able to access the alpha forums and everything. So we're not real sure how that happened.
Well, I think they were giving away alpha packs at one point, and that's really worth it and quite generous. So sweet. Good for him.
Now, those people that happen to get a closed beta event key, they will not get the same amount of starting cash and stuff like that the folks that paid for theirs will.
But you will get some, they said.
Yes.
You will get to play a little bit.
Yeah.
Gotta test out that store. Make sure your hair looks good.
Well, I don't blame them. It doesn't hurt the game any in alpha or beta, so let them play with it and entice them so they actually spend more money when it comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true.
I mean, I do got to say, Tryon did impress me by not making it 1 expander ticket for the first level, 2 for the second, 3 for the third. I thought I was going to pay an astronomical amount for bag space, but it's actually not that bad. I mean, I easily did mine. Also got the new glider, cover and stuff, and played with a couple chests and everything, and still only used half my cash. So
that's not bad at all.
They did say though, depending on how much people bought, they may raise the prices on things.
Oh, good Lord! Please don't raise it on those bag spaces. I know that's probably going.
That's one of the easiest ways for a game to make money, so I can't imagine that they'll leave it that way, because you're going to pay whatever,
Well, I'm disappointed we can't buy them with the loyalty tokens, but that's just me. I mean, I plan on staying a patron for a while. I was hoping I could buy the bag space with loyalty tokens. I can't, so I got to pay the 300 gems, but please don't make it, much more. Yeah. I'll have to work harder and do more work in real life to get money so I can buy bag space in my virtual world.
Well, you could maybe shave a little of the hair and, sell it. I don't know. I think you can make a wig with that thing, bud.
It's majestic.
That's
Yes,
right. It is
that's
majestic.
very nice.
Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Yes.
Bushy.
Hope you don't
Oh,
get
man.
stuff stuck in there. But I guess it's a good spot for leftovers, so.
Yeah, barbecue.
What? You know, when you're eating it? Okay, fine. Well,
Barbecue sticks around for a couple of days.
Okay, that's all good.
Oh, one more thing. Those of you who like to color your clothing, that's in the store now too. But there is no pink, there is no white, there is no black. We have, what is that? Spring leaf, which is a green. We have russet bark, which is a brown. Creamsicle, whatever creamsicle color is. I guess that's orange.
yes.
Liquid gold, which is gold. And yellow. And I can't pronounce that
All right.
word. For Cynthia or something like that.
Fuchsia?
Nice.
Maybe?
That is not fuchsia. FORSYNSYTHIA.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I'm not looking at the game right now, so I can't pronounce that either right now. Interesting. Okay, well, just to backtrack a little bit, they did a lot with that 1.2 patch, and we've had now, 2 weeks in it.
Yep.
They did do a lot of class changing. What do y'all think of class changes so far? Because I know, Deuce, you do archery a lot, and I just started it, so I don't know what the big difference is.
Actually, you need to talk to Bear in archery for 1.2. I'm playing mage right now.
Really? Okay, so Bear, what do you think?
I love the changes that they did. I like that they took, the endless arrows out of shadow. They put it in archery where I think it should have been.
And
So the
it's
archery
earlier.
changes, and it's earlier. The archery changes are all for the better. I'm extremely happy with the changes they made there. From what I've heard, the only people that are really complaining have been the people that want to do like main healing. Evidently, their healings got kind of twisted up a little bit. They said they nerfed the sorcerers a little bit, but I really hadn't seen that too much. So
Yeah, I can talk about that when you're done.
go ahead, knock it off.
Sorcery, the couple changes, okay, is they changed Fireball big time. Fireball no longer levels up. It stays level 1. It is totally gear dependent now. So before it got up to like level 12 or 13, which increased the initial damage. Now it's just that initial damage that you get from level 1 all the way up. So that nerfed it down a little bit. Plus it comes in 3 bursts. It has the first burst, which is the cast time, and then 2 insta bursts that you have to hit the button for, which actually slows down your casting of Fireball. And it lowers the damage because it spreads it over the 3. Meteor does not hit as hard for some reason now. I don't see the nerf in it, but it just doesn't seem to be hitting like it was before. Outside of that, Sorcery pretty much stays the same. There's a lot better synergy with the other classes, like Witchcraft and Sorcery right now are beast. I mean, I don't know. I never played the thing in the original alpha, so I was pretty much an archer in the original alpha. So I didn't, notice this, but yeah, it's a self-healing burst DPS monster right now. So, I mean, Arthedon said he hasn't got hit with a 12k, shot yet, but I was like, Arthedon, you're not playing with someone that's 3 months ahead of you in gear either.
Yeah,
So,
very true.
So that's what I think. Outside of that, I don't think much has happened to the sorcery build except for those 2 minor changes.
Gotcha. Well, I was playing a caster in the original build that they'd put out for the alpha server. And I tell you what, it felt squishy. Meteor was really nice, though. You could hit real hard. So maybe I'll have to pick that up again and see what the changes are. It's a really fun class, though.
I mean, we can throw 10k mud hands right now, which is just insane.
That is insane. Wow.
Because that's crowd control and it hits for 10k. It's like, really? Of course, that's with library buff in the library, but still.
Arthedon said he was getting crit for 20k. So
sorry. So
By
a 10k
what?
hit is nothing.
yeah. Foe said personally think Meteor's fine. They actually ramped up the scaling but lowered the base damage, and I think that's a really cool thing that they've done here. Is they allowed you to scale your damage with your gear instead of being it based solely off of your skill, because some of the skills don't level up anymore. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. I'm glad to see them do that.
I mean, gear is definitely now a big determination on how much you hit for.
It really is. I've been working on carpentry and making bows and staves and things for folks, and we've just had guildmates begging for the items in some cases because it's such an upgrade. And one that I was working with, I procced a blue for him, woohoo! But said his DPS just skyrocketed with that. So gear really, really is important.
So
And
he's not carrying his purse no more?
do what?
He's not carrying the purse no more? He can actually hit like a man?
Yes. Yes.
Well,
he's hitting with a skillet, not a purse.
A perfect example is, I did a lot of leveling up over on the farms, doing the alchemy and stuff like that. So my quests were still located in Dewstone, but I was level like 38. So I'm out in Halcyona, and I'm getting a mud hole stomped in my hind parts because I didn't have the gear to kill anything. So I had JoJo make me some leather armor. I had Liette make me a bow, and then now I'm able to rock and roll again. And my hind parts are safe now.
Tell the truth there. Deuce went out to Halcyona at level 37. Halcyona is like a 33 zone.
Yeah.
I went in, tried to kill one bear, and got murdered 3 times.
Really?
I told you to quit touching me.
I'll tell you, I grabbed the tail of the bear, and it bit me back hard. And I had to call in Bear and JoJo to even be able to kill anything. It's crazy. Yes, gear matters now. Unlike in the original alpha, I was doing heroic level 50 zones, the instances, with 4 of other 50s in 100% naked gear and hitting like a Mack truck. And that does not happen anymore.
I'm glad that they've made that change. It really makes crafting that much more valuable economically in 2 players. You want to have a friend who can make you a bow or a staff that'll actually let you smack things. And especially to cover your poor unprotected rear parts, poor guys. So yeah, it will make a difference. We had a good question from, I think it's Consumeru. Is the game all about PvP?
That is a great question.
That's a really
That is a great question.
I hear that question a lot. Yeah, I hear that question a lot, and I actually get kind of irritated with some of the answers that I hear. Everybody say, this game is founded around PvP. Look, folks, you can play this game and never PvP. It is possible. The zones go in and out of contention, so they're at war, they're at peace. You can go in there in peace. You don't have to worry about PvP. Don't let that stop you from playing this game. This is a great game with a lot to offer. Now, if you plan on going across the ocean, yes, you can get PvP'd. If you go into an area that's contested, if you go into an area that's contested with a trade pack on your back and expect to make it and get PvP'd, don't bitch about it.
That's a big bullseye on your back. Trust me.
Tell us how you really feel there, Bear. Don't bitch about it.
Don't bitch about it. You stepped
walking
off
into
into that
contested zone with a big bag of money on your back, someone's going to go, I would like that bag of money you've got there.
Yeah.
And they will try and take it. Whether they can or not, it's another story.
And unfortunately, you're going to be walking real slow.
Yes.
And so, you might as well just have a big old target on your forehead. Come and get it.
But
I'll tell you. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, okay. This game, to me, I love the way it's worked out. It doesn't have the big rating system, tiers of rating quests and all this other kind of stuff to worry about. They do have some raids, but this game is more about guilds working together to achieve goals, more so than if we had 15 raid zones to start with. It requires a better guild and a better group of people working together to make it in this game than it would if you had, the raid zones to worry with. So I don't think this game is centered around PvP. I think this game is centered around finding a good group of people to work with and getting there and getting your hands dirty. To me, that's what this game's about. But go ahead.
I'm the perfect example of not PvPing. 1 to 50, one of the first people to 50, in fact, in the guild on Omega. And I've died 3 times, all of them to stupid bears because I went where I shouldn't have went. Wasn't the players, was the stupid NPC bear 4 levels lower than me. My only 3 deaths.
Them bears.
Yeah. Quit grabbing their tails and they'll quit biting your face off.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, me, Salen, a couple other people have leveled to 50 or almost to 50 purely farming. I mean, Liette, what level are you now, Liette?
47, about to hit 48.
And how much have you quested?
Well, I have actually quested up to Halcyona, and the bears did not kill me. I have skills, thank you. But I did actually do the quests in order. I also don't have quite as much to do as you do on the farms, Deuce. So,
Oh, yeah.
you know, there's a difference there. But yeah, I'm 47, and you know my playtime. It's about 4 hours a day, if that. And you know it's about to go pew. So you can really make it just off of the crafting, and you're not kidding.
Well, it took me
And I love that
65,000
XP.
skill to get there to 50.
Hey, Royal Star Lord asked the question, have you found the flower at the top of the mountain? I have no idea what mountain you're talking about, no idea what flower you're talking about. So,
I
Hope
pick
pretty.
flowers every day.
yeah. I know I planted some trees on the top of a mountain. I was like, I'm going to get some extra wood, and a flipping guilty come and took it. But we won't talk
We won't
about
go
the
there.
whole.
We've already all heard this story.
Yeah, illegal, whatever.
It's
go ahead.
illegal farming, bear. You know that.
Next year, talk
Yeah.
about the killed cow.
Oh my gosh. No.
Don't get that started, please.
Not the story about the cow, please. And there's a really good comment here from Gaming with Astro. We all have different reasons to play, but that's what ArcheAge is. And I love to PvP all night, but then the farm, craft, fishing, etc. for hours too. So it depends on what you like to do. And that's really, really true. And I do think Bear has a really, really good point that the game is built around larger social structures. And those larger social structures then affect the economic structure and what you as an individual player are capable of doing. So in many ways, the game is ingenious in forcing people to work together, combine resources, really think and plan. Otherwise, it's going to take you a really long time to hit 50 just off of crafting. Or just using your labor in general, which they have buffed significantly with this last patch, which I love. I know Deuce is loving. It's been pretty
And
darn
I haven't
sweet.
even bought any labor potions or anything. That's just straight from doing my thing. To add on to what Bear said and what Liette was saying, this is truly a PvX game. And for those that don't know what a PvX game, there's PvP games, there's PvE games, and there's PvX. PvX is player versus everything. I mean, literally, it's versus environment, it's versus players, you know, it's versus crafting. Heck, this is just crazy crafting.
Versus labor.
Yeah.
Hey, there were some folks that put up a roadblock on the road to Monopoly, or whatever you want to call it.
Marion Noble.
Very noble.
Yeah, Monopoly. They put up a roadblock and was not going to let you through unless you paid them a toll. You know, you could have went around them, yeah, but it was kind of a cool little thing that they did. You know, they blocked the road off. You couldn't drive tractors through or anything like that. Some people were complaining that they were exploiting and all this other stuff. Now, maybe it is a little bit of an exploit right now because farm tractors can't be moved, but you could have went around them. You know, but there's if you want to do that in this game, it's there. You can do it. If you want to be a D-bag or whatever people are calling them these days, you can do it. You know,
Yeah.
You may pay the price in the long run, but hey, it's there.
Well, imagine too with all the naval combat, which I know Memo's real into. If you have a big old fleet of ships, you just get a couple layers of boats. You could literally hold up an entire harbor that way just by blocking people. And how sweet would that be in some cases?
Well, you know, with the change on the turbulence and stuff, naval combat just got cool. Because it's all about the cannons now. No more jumping ship to ship to ship to ship, you know, chasing a ship down from way behind with a glider. No. turbulence, I'll make you do a backflip, throw you in the water, do whatever, but you ain't catching that ship now.
Basically, what Deuce is trying to say is turbulence bent him over and spanked him like a little girl. I mean, a little baby.
Yes, it did. I'll tell you, how do you think I know you do backflips, you do whirlwinds, and you just throws you into the water? Because I tried to, I flew from the diamond zone to the normal zone where we had our farms in Alpha. Yeah, that took me a good long bit because I kept getting thrown back in the water or sent
Nice.
backwards.
Yeah,
From
they
the
flip you
turbulence.
backwards.
Well, I was taking my clipper out and I noticed turbulent winds, and I'm looking and going, well, how's that affecting me? It doesn't really affect the boat, but it occurred to me, oh, I should hop on my glider and just see what bad things happen to me. I didn't. I wussed out, but I wish I had checked it out.
There is one glider that turbulence does not affect. It's the Kraken glider.
That makes a lot of sense.
The glider that I forget the actual name of the glider. It's not the Kraken glider, but the plan is dropped from the Kraken. So you kill the Kraken, you deserve to be able to fly across the sea.
Yeah, you really do.
Especially how crazy the bats are for it.
Well, has anybody seen the Kraken yet? Any of y'all?
Yeah.
Really? I have not seen the Kraken. I'm kind of
How
bummed.
have you not
I haven't
seen the
either.
Kraken?
I don't know. I missed out on the Kraken, man. You got to take me out on the boat and we got to find it.
We'll have
You
to
haven't done
hop
the
out
45
there.
quests then. There's a baby Kraken in Sandeep.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
that
part of
don't
the
count.
quest line. And
That
then
don't
there's the real Kraken where you do not get close to. He will eat you.
There's some really great videos out there, where people have been just sailing along. And I was watching those one day. I watched a lot of Kraken videos. And then I decided, for some idiotic reason, late that night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, to go fishing all by myself. So I'm out there, and this water thing just comes spouting up out of the water, scared the crap out of me. And then I start hearing these weird sounds, and I'm crying to dragon. I'm fixing to get eaten by the Kraken. And it was ridiculous, but no, we'll have to go out there. We'll just grab some
Alright.
ships and go out there and go check him out.
Kraken hunting. And grats to those of you in channel who are saying you have killed the Kraken.
Nice.
Way to go.
Yeah.
That's pretty nifty.
We'll
All
get
right,
there.
guys. We're coming up on about an hour. So this is a good time to ask if anyone in chat has any lingering questions, concerns, etc. that we could try to help answer or just give an opinion on. So if you have questions, please type it at us.
Gaming did have a good point. You don't get a design when you kill the Kraken. You get the glider.
Oh, you get the
Nice.
glider? What's the 100-piece thing from the Kraken then?
No idea
Wow.
what you're talking about.
It's a fragment of the Kraken, and it takes 100 of them to make the actual design. What
I
is
don't
that? Somebody in
Maybe-
channel knows.
Maybe it's a taxidermied Kraken, man. Who knows? That would make a whole lot of sense. I have a Kraken chunk.
Whoa. That didn't sound good.
What? It's like a hunting trophy. That'll be cool.
Need some
Don't hate.
plumber's wax for
The
that.
Black
or-
Pearl. Okay.
Is
Okay.
that what's for the Black Pearl? Okay. Yeah, it takes 100 of
Okay.
them.
That's cool. Okay. Thanks, Meg. For a new
Thanks,
person
Meg.
joining beta tomorrow, what's the best way to farm or craft? Just hop in
that
there
would
and do
take
it.
that would take a whole show. I mean, get hook up with a good guild and go from there. But I mean, we could do a whole show on the best way to start out crafting and farming.
I will
It
tell
is
you
a-
this.
In-depth process.
Give me 3 hours tomorrow, and then if you don't want to give me your farm and you want to do your own farming thing, I'll try to help you out as best I can. If you want to give up your farm to the guild, well then, come on, I'll show you exactly how to do it immediately.
That's right.
There are some pretty good wikis out there if you Google it, just crafting an ArcheAge, but it really would take a long time to get into. Just know that you have to be level 10 to get your first farm. Good luck with the land grab. Can you build a house in a PvP zone? Yeah, sure can.
You can, but it's
Been there, done it.
not a lot of fun if you're not 50.
No.
And
can
then even
actually
then,
hide
it's
in your
still not
house.
a lot of fun.
You can actually hide in your house, shut the door, and they can't direct combat you, but they can still meter you.
Yep.
We
Yeah,
meteor
watch
and
out
kill
for
people in
A's.
houses all the time.
Hey guys, 15 hours till beta starts. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick.
You're right. Sure is. Oh my gosh.
I tell you, I'm excited. I can't wait to talk to the new people and hear the enjoyment of them for the first time playing, because There's nothing like that first day of a new game.
No, no, and you will never forget this one. I was shocked when I first got in. I didn't think I would like it as much as I do, but it's awesome. Okay, good question from Obi Wanton. Are there any roles that seem to always be needed, like tanks and healers and other MMOs?
Healers.
Pretty much, and good luck leveling that.
Yeah, it's not a fun leveling process. It's usually best to take some damage DPS with a little bit of back healing, and then when you get to max level, to level up your final healing skill, because it is extremely slow going to try and level a straight healer, and painful.
Yep. And my method has been playing a ranger, which is shadow play, archery, and vitalism, so that I can get the vitalism up. I have 2 skills from vitalism, and I don't really use it.
Oh, that question right there. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Using labor to open just about everything in the game.
Yeah, you need labor to open your little box of armor that you get, and then you need your labor to identify every little piece of it. You need your labor to open coin purses. You need your labor to do this. You need your labor to do that. I mean, everything takes labor now, which is something they changed from the previous build. So, it is what it is. It's one of the things they can, make you spend your labor on.
There is one upside to everything absolutely using labor, and that's because, we're going to start with 1,000 labor. So by using it more often, it's going to allow us to hit that cap a little bit faster. That's the only plus side I see.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, almost everything you use labor on, you get XP for.
Yes.
Can you level as DPS and respect the healer at max level? Yes, you can, but then you have to level those particular skills up by doing quests, grinding mobs, or whatnot to level those skills up to 50 as well. But you can go and respec pretty much at any time.
What we do on a lot of us, once you hit 50, you drop one of your 50 skills, the least used one for damage, and you throw in another ability. And you level that one up while you still have your 2 powerhouse trees. Okay, so you're running on 2 trees because the other one's so low, it's useless pretty much, except for a couple skills as you start to level it up. Once you hit 50, you can drop that one, put in another tree, and go up. I mean, literally on Alpha, I have one character that has 9 level 50 trees. So
I think we might have lost Bear.
Yeah, poor Bear. Darn.
Bye, Bear. That's what you get for biting the button 3 times.
Hey.
Bear's back.
Ouch.
That was a little weird. And I heard that.
Good. I'm glad you did.
But yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. I mean, if you have a dedicated group and stuff, you can level your pure healing build. But I'll tell you, if they're not there,
painful.
If they're not there, you're stuck in the water.
Yeah, it's very painful. I've done it and will not do it again.
But
I will get to max level and then change it.
They did add some really cool features to help you level extra skills after you hit level 50. They added those great big old sunflowery things, that you can grow when you hit level 50 that Mag's got like 102,000 experience when he harvested that thing.
Yeah.
I got 4 trees planted right now.
Yeah, using up our guild farm. I see how it is.
Hey, it's experimental basis on Omega.
We did have another question. What do we recommend rushing for when you first get in game, and are there any valuable commodities that'll be up for grab? Not exactly.
Trees.
Wood's always
wild
needed.
Trees will be planted everywhere right at launch. Go get them, because lumber is one of the big ones.
That's true.
Yes. Shut up, Memo.
Hey,
someone asked.
Hey, I'll tell you this. Realistically, especially if you're new to beta, take your time, learn the game, enjoy yourself. Because you want to go into live, with a good knowledge base. The people who've been in alpha, we've been here for a good long bit now, so we rush a lot of things. Trust me from experience, don't rush. If you're new to beta, don't rush. Enjoy the game, learn, ask questions, and just enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, you only have a few days at a time to be in the game. So don't be worried about making money and all of that. It's more important to know what classes you want to start with when launch actually happens. Whether you even like crafting. It's a huge part of the game, but you might far, more enjoy out grinding and getting coin purses to build up actual cash to just be able to buy the stuff that you want. So figure out what's fun for you. If you're like Deuce and typically PvP'd and pretty hardcore player, and all of a sudden you hop on a farm and you're singing E-I-E-I-O, you
That's
might
me.
surprise yourself. So see
I
what
still
you
remember
like.
telling Memo that. Day 1, Memo, I am a hardcore PvPer. Day 2, Memo, I
I'm
can't get off
picking
this farm. I
flowers.
love it.
I'm picking flowers.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Is
It's
house ownership important? No, not really.
really.
House
There's a
is a
couple of
vanity
things.
thing, really.
Yeah.
Well, now there is a couple of things that houses are used for, and that's like putting your royal cooking pots or your royal armor forms and stuff like that down. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we just found out about here recently was all the secret quests. And this will be the last thing I bring up tonight, but the amount of secret quests in this game is absolutely phenomenal. Some of them require you to have an item in your inventory, and then you have to be next to a specific, Pacific. How to still say it? How to still say it? Pacific. Yeah, you
Like
got to
the
be
ocean.
next to. Yeah, you got to be next to the correct ocean to get your quest started. One of them is the talking chicken. If you got the talking chicken in your inventory and you go up to the right NPC, it's going to start a secret quest chain.
Nice.
One of the biggest or the secret quest chains right now, I give you what's called the Dream Ring of Dreams. And evidently it's extremely long. You've got to kill something like 12 world bosses. But when you get the ring, every time you hit somebody, it does a magical and physical debuff on them, and it stacks. So it's like, that's a pretty freaking big deal. So the hidden quests out there are enormous. There's hidden dungeons under the water that you got to get a key from off of a mob and a sunken ship. And so all of us that have been around for a long time that have been playing the game and think we knew most everything, evidently we don't even know half the game yet. So the game's even bigger than what we thought.
And fart juices, get a cow. Just trust me on this one. Get a cow. You'll be a happy person. I won't tell you anymore, but have a good time.
Yep.
I got one closing thought. And then
All
I'm
right.
done. On the people coming into beta, your trees, okay? Just because you normally play a healer, try out the other trees too. I'm telling you, I'm still going into beta not knowing what I want to play in launch. I've narrowed it down to 3 names, but I still don't know. And I've played every single tree there is in the game with many of the combinations and stuff. There's just so many viable things, and it's by play style and how you feel, really. So make sure you play all the different trees and stuff while you're in beta and get to know them so that it can help you when you get to live. Otherwise, you're going to be wanting to flip your thing every time you turn around.
And that's really not worth it because, again, you have to build that gear. And it's going to be a big commodity, so figure it out now. Good advice. Memo, closing thoughts.
Above all, just go in, have fun. If you're still looking for a guild, we're there.
Very cool. And you can find us at www.grievancegaming.org for those interested.
14 hours and 50 minutes.
Woo!
Somebody asked.
Closing thoughts, Bear?
Man, I've enjoyed this game so much, and playing with Grievance in a game this large and at this scope is, reckons back to the days of Galaxies, Star Wars Galaxies, and stuff like that. This guild is great. It's a great organization, and I look forward to the great things that we accomplish.
Yep. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. Thanks to everyone in chat for joining us talking about ArcheAge and throwing some questions out there. For anybody who's kind of on the fence, do I want to get the game? Do I not want to get the game? Just get the game.
Do
Trust
it.
me.
Get it.
Do it. Yeah. I mean, $50 pack to get into beta, worth it. Look at it like a collector's edition, if you will. and the head start's worth it. It's worth figuring out what class you want to play when the game launches. It's awesome. So we'll be hanging out in chat a little bit after the stream goes off. If you want to check out our previous streams for the Aurorian Age, you can find us at YouTube/Grievance Gaming. You can follow us at Grievance Gaming on Twitter. I'm really bad at tweeting, but I'm at Liette_G3. So find us there. We're on every Wednesday, unless something very enormous happens, like Omega launch. So that week we weren't in. But yeah, we'll be here. We'll be talking about the game. We hope to see you often, and please give us a follow if you enjoyed the stream. So we'll catch you next week. Thank you guys again. Have a good night.